whatever you want.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize we're still... Oh, we're still... Okay. She was such a pretty girl.
By many accounts, Carrietta was all but pretty.
See, that is where you were quite wrong, Mr. Terry. Here, do you have a light? Yeah. See, I knew her before they all got to her. When I lived next door to her, she was just this little thing, kind and pure.
You say they. What do you mean by that?
Chamberlain, of course. Forgive me. Remembering Carrie, her family, all of it. You understand.
I've been documenting Carrie's story for some time now. I think I'm all but beginning to understand.
I don't even know where to begin with this.
Can we start with her parents? Ralph and Margaret White? Hi, Vic.
Hi.
Vic, can you tell us about the events that happened on that night in 1979?
Yeah, sure. I grew up in Chamberlain, Maine, and I attended school with Carrie White.
Now, you're one of the few survivors from the prom, is that correct?
Yeah, that is right.
And you were actually on stage that night with Carrie and Tommy Ross?
I'm sorry, it's just, a lot of things happened that night, and it's not exactly easy to remember.
Would you mind telling us about what happened on the corner of Carlin and Derry Streets?
Like I said, I don't exactly remember everything, but I'll try.
Wow, that lipstick is just beautiful, isn't it, girls?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What color is that? Sweet strawberry swine?
No, that's more of a pray for me pink.
You eat shit.
White residence.
Is this Carrie White?
Yes.
Did you know pig poop is spelled C-A-R-R?
At that point, I just wanted to get away from the school, away from her. But everywhere I went, it seemed like Carrie was following me. I could hear her. Carrie was in my head, no matter where I would go. I think she was trying to find those of us that got out.
My mother and I stayed in the house after my father left, which would have been 1962. Carrie's father died the following year. Except he wasn't Carrie's dad yet.
Have a blessed day.
Ralph White. He was scarier than Margaret. You know, he carried a 35 in his lunch pail in case he ran into the Antichrist during his workday.
Ralph was killed in an accident in the home. Is that right?
No. Construction accident. Took a girder to the head. Carrie came along 7 months later.
Hi, Norma.
Hi.
Let's start with your article in Reader's Digest.
Yes. We survived the Black Prom. You know, it was one of their featured drama in real life series last year.
Yes. However, a few critics say that the attention you've received from it, and by extension, the events of May 1979, seem a little opportunistic.
Well, couldn't the same or even better argument be made for that book written by Sue Snell? I didn't torture Carrie and then try to make buku bucks off a book about her. All of my publishing fee from Reader's Digest, I donated to charities that directly benefited Chamberlain. Her book is completely self-serving.
Can you talk about the prom?
Well, what else are you here to talk to me about?
Do you think Sue Snell had anything to do with swinging the vote that night? Along with Christine Hargensen?
No. No, but I know that Chris wouldn't have done this alone. It was probably Norma Watson or Helen Shires. Knowing those two, probably both of them. Tina may have been in on it as well.
What about Tommy Ross, taking Carrie as his date?
It was weird. It was definitely weird, but I don't think he meant anything cruel with it. I think he was just trying to be nice. I mean, Ross was a real stand-up guy, you know? Now, I do remember thinking it was strange that they won. I mean, Ross and Sue, sure, that makes complete sense, but Carrie White? I mean, come on. The odds of that happening, it's like finding a snowball in hell.
I saw it falling at first. The blood, it was so shiny under the lights.
There's just so much of it. And it's one thing to see the blood, but the smell. Okay, it was unlike anything I've ever smelled before. It was repulsive. And it filled the whole gym, the whole room. You couldn't get away from it. I mean, it's like rotting meat and iron and shit.
So what happened next?
And nobody laughed at first. I mean, we all kind of just stood there in shock. And it wasn't until she tried to run across the stage and she slipped and fell. And honestly, I had never seen anything more pathetic in my life.
Hello, Sue. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
Last time we spoke, you talked about being able to see what Carrie was doing. Is that correct? You could hear her thoughts.
Yes, it's called telepathy.
And that's how you were able to follow her trail, if you will?
Yes.
Did you know by this point that Tommy was dead?
I did.
We've interviewed Norma Watson recently. She still questions your motive behind Tommy taking Carrie as his date.
Yeah, I suppose Norma still would. Everyone else does. It's really the wrong aspect to be focusing on, don't you think? Tommy and I didn't do anything mean, and Carrie knew that. So I've made peace with viewpoints like hers.
Margaret fought with my mother constantly about everything. I remember one summer when the Stones came. Margaret had been battling with my mother about my bathing suit. Margaret said that I looked like the whore of Babylon. In retaliation, Mom bought me this tiny white crocheted bikini and told Margaret if I wanted to dance the hoochie cooch in the backyard, I could do it naked if that was my heart's desire.
Your mother sounds like she was a little fiery.
She is. But so was Margaret.
I could hear her. I could feel it. She had finished destroying Chamberlain, and hundreds were already dead. I could feel that too. She was heading home to kill her mama.
Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Kill the raven and the curse. Strike her down.